nude mannequin. She's indecent.
You
She
are
is.
live.
Oh, I guess we should bring up the lights. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that reveal, huh? All right.
Indeed.
That's the biggest reveal we could afford. So
Yes.
that's turning the light switch up. That's
It cost
that's
nothing.
Unlike that thing.
Like this
that costs
beautiful
quite a
sign
bit.
that costs a lot of money.
Yes, exactly. So, welcome to the NEPA Scene Studio. For the last few months, we've been working on cleaning up and customizing this former basement recording studio in downtown Scranton for interviews, photos, office space, hopefully many other creative projects. So tonight we're kind of streaming live to tell you a little bit about it, what our plans are moving forward with the NEPA Scene Podcast, and much more. We want to extend a massive thanks to Alex Molfetas and Center City Print for making this all possible, as well as Teresa and Justin at Ionic Development for helping us get the sound up and running and the live stream going that you see now. I've played with these cameras a lot. I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot more of that in the future. So, there'll be some color correction and all kinds of things, for the future. But I really just, at this point, it's been 4 months that we've been working on this. I just kind of wanted to get up and running. So I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene. And you are some guy who just wandered in here, I think?
Bob Frapples.
Yes.
My name is Bob Frapples. Or Jason Reed Miller, depending on who asks.
Yes, this is our head photographer, Jason Reed Miller. He's been with us from pretty much the beginning.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so a long history of doing this stuff before NEPA Scene as well.
Oh, our entire history. We're old.
We are.
We're old men.
We're only getting older.
Yeah, some of us decrepit.
Yeah, as you can see from the overhead shot.
Our shiny heads.
Yeah.
Actually, mine doesn't seem to be that shiny.
No, yeah, you know what? Because I got a light.
you got a light
kinda
directly on you.
right on me. Yeah. I was kinder to you. Try to move it over a little
I
bit.
appreciate that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'd like my head to be well displayed.
So NEPA Scene is 9 years old as of last month. We were kind of working from home long before it was cool with COVID and everything. Everything still kind of runs out of one computer in my spare bedroom of my house, but typically we don't bring interview guests there. So from the beginning, it's always kind of been a struggle. Is okay, where are we going to do some of this stuff? And especially because we're such a digital forward publication as opposed to a lot of the other stuff in the area. We obviously still do print articles, but for those, too long didn't read people, it started at coffee shops and things like that. And then the podcast came along pretty soon into, it was only a couple months into us launching the site. We're originally at 258 Studios, which is behind Cooper Seafood. I believe it's still there. I believe they're still doing stuff.
I honestly don't know. It's election headquarters now, I think.
That's what I was going to
Campaign
say. Yeah, Marky
headquarters.
Nenenbaum's a little preoccupied with school board stuff now and that sort of thing. But it was him and Lauren Coralico was a woman he introduced me to that he was working with at the time, and we did 62 audio episodes there, sometimes with a little video. And then when we were live streaming, when live streaming started to become a thing, especially through like Facebook and stuff, I wanted to kind of jump on that right away, as opposed to waiting for years and years and still not doing it or not doing it well, like many of the other local media out there. So we, after that kind of wrapped up, we went to Cole Creative in downtown Wilkes-Barre. We did our most there. We did 120 episodes there. Well, a little over 120. It's probably about 124 or 5, something like that. And then they kind of moved away from streaming. They were focusing their business on other things. So eventually we got our own studio space in downtown Scranton, about 2 blocks over, actually. And then we recorded a few episodes, and then COVID hit. And so after, that shut everything down, that whole, obviously people are selling property and getting rid of stuff. So that studio space was long gone by the time things were kind of starting to come back. So we ended up back in Wilkes-Barre at the Accelerator building because we were partnered with Special Guest app. We did 20 podcasts there. Then Special Guest folded. Became merchbooth.com. So once the sponsorship ended, our office space there did too. This was just last year. So at the time, Josh Balls, who worked out of the building, was opening his own recording studio in the same building, Legacy Recording. So we moved over there. We did another 12 episodes. But we were kind of working around their schedule all the time. So it was constantly trying to figure out when can we do this? And we were trying to, I try to keep it to Wednesdays at 7, and that just wasn't always, the case if they're, recording touring
not
bands
feasible,
and things like that. Yeah, it really wasn't working, and it was a tough space to do it in too. The whole Accelerator building in general was not really made for recording in any way.
Or getting an internet signal into it.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a National Guard building, so the walls were reinforced metal and stuff, and so you couldn't hang anything on there. You couldn't do any.
You could try.
Yeah, you could try. We tried, and things literally would fall off the wall and crash and shit. So yeah, it was the room that we were in was these big high ceilings, so it really wasn't made for the kind of stuff that we were doing and whatever. So I've known Alex Molfetas for pretty much my entire career in journalism, because when I was at Go Lackawanna back in the day, he was buddies with Chris Hughes because they were college friends. So he introduced me to him, so I always kind of knew him or knew what he was up to and stuff. And I was kind of relating this whole story to him, and he's like, oh, well, I still have that basement that we're not doing anything with.
Basement space.
So for those who don't know where we are, so we're if on Penn Avenue, right down from the Scranton Times building, I guess kind of ironically, is Center City Print, and in the basement was 119 Studios, and that was a recording studio for a long time. It went through a bunch of different owners, a bunch of different people did different things with the space over the years. I literally just saw Sean Flynn yesterday, and was talking about Those Clever Foxes actually did their first EP here.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So there's, and just kind of a quick Google search, I was like, oh yeah, there are a lot of bands that actually did record an EP or an album here and stuff like that. So, the building has some extra history in the fact that the upstairs Center City Print used to be the Vintage Theater, was the second location of the Vintage
Number
Theater.
2.
Yeah. And that was kind of, I think, the one that people may, I don't want to say, I don't want to speak for people and say remember the fondest, but I think that seemed to be kind of the longest run in my mind.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was definitely the longest.
Yeah, it was the longest space, and I saw a lot of great shows here. I know a lot of other people did too. So there's a lot of great memories in this building, both upstairs and downstairs. And
it ironically now smells like vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I've been, it really smelled more like basement than anything else. I've been spraying Febreze and running air fresheners all over the place and shit. So I don't know what the hell it's, this current weird mixture of smells.
That's the vinyl from upstairs.
But it actually smells a lot better.
Oh yeah. The smell has improved greatly.
Yeah,
so come on down and enjoy our fresh new smell.
The smell is great. Yeah, that's what you want to advertise. So yeah, we're we're doing a lot of painting and cleaning and stuff in here. This was all storage. It had not been a studio for a while. So there was a lot of, stuff that needed to just be thrown in the dumpster. There was stuff that could be salvaged. There was a lot of painting that we had to do.
Wall patching.
Yeah, wall patching right behind the sign there. So this blue paint actually is, when we had the studio at the Accelerator building, they
matched our blue logo and put a little paint on the wall, but it was just this little splash of color for where we were recording the podcast.
Yep.
So I had a whole, like practically a whole can of it. So I was like, what can I do with that? So I ended up kind of painting this. There's a stripe on the other side of the wall you can't see.
And probably will never see.
Yeah, yeah. Not on this show. You won't see it. Maybe I'll turn the cameras around a little bit so that people can see what's going on in the next room and stuff too. But it's this really there's a recording space back there that would need thousands of dollars of equipment and whatever. So we're just like, well, why don't we just use that for photos? So that kind of became.
The photo studio.
Photo studio.
We're very big on naming things here.
Yeah.
The NEPA Scene Studio, including the photo studio.
It's all about branding.
We should have a contest to name this place.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then not ever refer to it as that?
Well, yeah, but still,
yeah,
we could have a
I'm
contest.
I'm just going to keep calling it NEPA Scene this and that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the NEPA Scene open mic for 9 years, and I still get, I'm going to go to the V-Spot open mic.
Oh, yeah, you're very prickly about that.
I am very prickly about that, yeah.
Very prickly.
Yeah. I keep adding more and more logos to the stage in hopes that someday someone...
It's never going to happen. I don't know why you're... It's a poor hill to die on.
I know.
Because not only will you die on it, nobody will notice.
that is very true.
It's a battle not to fight. So come on down next Tuesday for the NEPA Scene open mic at the V-Spot. Featuring Vinny sometimes.
Yes.
Not all the time.
No.
Sometimes.
I just wanted to thank Alex again for kind of letting us do what we wanted here too. It was just kind of like, can I do this? Can I do that? And after a while, it was just like, he's like, whatever, just do whatever.
Stop talking to me.
Okay. So they also made us this amazing sign, which has its own really funny story because this sign was on a much larger rectangle of white plastic vinyl, and the studio that we were renting a couple blocks down had this giant inlet, almost like a window sort of thing. A window that did not look out into anything because it was also in a basement. And so I had them make one that fit perfectly into that little window. And it looked really great on camera and everything. And then when COVID hit, they were just like, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We all remember that. So I was like, okay.
I told Scott 18 months tops. I was actually a little short.
Yeah,
I was close.
You were close.
I was a little short.
I remember you saying that.
And I was like, 2 weeks, nothing. I was like, 18 months easily.
I was like, I hope not. And that's what it became.
Doom and gloom Jay. It's always right.
So that while we were gone, I was like, well, I'll just leave everything there for the time being until we can get out again. So 2 months later, I'm like, I should go and get all my shit out of there in case whatever they're doing with that basement now. So I go over there and all of the 3D lettering and things that you see there had fallen off because it just fell forward. Yeah, it all pops. It looks really cool in person. You can see it's all like 3D and stuff and pops out. So I was like, okay, well that sucks. So I had these this mess of letters and things sitting in my basement for like 2 years, actually longer. And then I brought it back to them. Was like, can you guys fix this? And like, yeah. I was like, well, it's already bent up, so they cut off the bottom. I'm like, well, let's just cut the whole thing out. At this point, I didn't even know what I was doing with it yet. I just knew that I didn't want it totally ruined. So they ended up having to replace with they got new letters laser cut for it and everything, and then put it up there. And then it was like, okay, now that we have this big heavy thing, how do we get it on the wall to stay there? And I'm telling you, I contacted many people.
Well, we tried first and we failed.
Yes, we tried and we're like, no, this is not going to work. Because you don't want to spend that much time and money and effort on something to have it just immediately fall off the wall.
Oh, we were going to destroy it.
Yeah, it was
going to be bad.
So even the stuff that I asked, Lindsay, who works upstairs and everything, what she thought. She kind of had an idea. So finally, I just ended up calling a sign guy. The first sign people I called, they were like, we don't hang other people's signs. I'm like, so half of the job's done for you. You don't want the money, like cash that I'm going to hand? Okay, all right. Called the next one, and they're just like, yeah, of course, so I'll come down and do that. So he looks at it, and he's like, yeah, okay, you want it to pop out of the wall. So he put, some backing on it and stuff. And, did the stud finder thing. Okay, here, whatever, here's where we can do it. And then put the 2 screws in the wall, and was like, $200. So I basically paid $200 for 2 fucking screws. That
it looks good.
It looks
really good.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know if
you can't put a price on that except for $200. And now, after this long-winded science story, we have exactly 0 viewers.
Yes, exactly. So we will move on then. So we're gonna keep doing we're gonna bring back the NEPA Scene Podcast once again. Now that we actually have a space to do it in regularly. So we'll be back here Wednesday nights at 7. We'll go live from here.
Aren't we kicking off on a Sunday, though?
We are kicking off on a Sunday, which will probably be more confusing to people.
Sunday?
Yes. So
at 7?
Yeah. So Bobby Keller from the NEPA Horror Fest hit me up and was like, I want to do something. Maybe we could do... Because we're always a media sponsor of the NEPA Horror Fest. So I just want to try and do some different way to talk about it.
I can't be there this year. I'm so
Oh, really?
bummed.
What do you have going on?
Oh, my goddaughter's getting married in Atlanta in the middle of Comic-Con and the NEPA Scene Horror Fest.
Oh.
It's like she doesn't even know me when she scheduled that.
Right.
Even though we have matching Jason Voorhees tattoos, her and I.
Wow.
She was born on Friday the 13th. My name's Jason.
Right. It was meant to be, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do it Sunday because it's the only day that he has available for some of the calendar girls that are in the calendar that they do every year. This is, I think, the second year that they're doing that.
Is it only the second year? Was last year the first?
Maybe the third. Maybe the third.
It's the third year.
I mean, you'll find out.
Our engineer tells me 3.
3.
Engineer / producer.
Yes.
Teresa.
Producer Teresa is
says
always
3.
right when it comes to this stuff, so we're gonna rely on her memory more than mine. So yeah, 3 years, but we haven't done anything specifically on that. I know you photographed it the one year.
I photographed the event, not the calendar.
Right. So yeah, we'll.
That was last year. That was year 2.
We'll have them on.
Second. I just looked. This year's is the second annual.
Oh, this is the.
This says second.
All right, so we've told lies.
Yeah.
Telling lies here.
That's what the podcast is for, to get these people in front of a camera and then question them about these things.
Right.
That they know much more about. Because
as if Bobby would know.
Depends on the day.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So yeah,
Are you following his
we'll have them on
antics this week on Facebook?
Oh yes.
Quite entertaining.
Oh, every week. I mean,
every week, but this week was.
Yeah, this was particularly
Bob.
a good one.
Good shit. Not going to go into it, but
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he'll be here. I know that John Casper will probably be here.
We like John Casper.
Yeah, good dude. Me and him went to high school together.
Right on.
The last time that we had to relaunch the podcast, we did. He interviewed me.
I remember.
So that we could
right.
kind of catch people up on stuff. So I'm going to apply for some grants. I'm hoping to maybe do some acoustic sessions down here. Used to have, there's many different sessions that people have done over the years. Weekender Sessions was big back when I started.
The And the Money Notes Weekender Session.
Yeah.
Legendary. Still legendary to this day.
It is absolutely legendary.
Not to promote them, of
no.
whom we shall not speak, but go to YouTube and watch the And the Money Notes Weekender Session.
It was very different management, very different leadership.
Very different. But particularly Brian
things.
Craig led Teed Down Trout song exclusive, I believe, to that Weekender session. I
Yeah.
believe that was the one and only time that song was played.
I was gonna say, yeah. I
And
don't
it
remember
was immaculate. It's
Yeah.
the only. It was the perfect song. That's why it can only be done once.
Right. Right.
It was just do yourself a favor.
Yes.
Watch Deep Down Trout. You'll figure it out what I'm saying when you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Very Scranton title to that song.
Yeah. And it's been a long, long time since anybody's done anything like that around here.
It
that
has.
I've seen.
We should bring it back and pretend it was our idea.
Right. Exactly. Well, funny enough, when I was at the weekend,
Was it our idea? 15 years ago?
No, it was that was Lello. I think
That was Lala's idea?
Yeah,
Fair
Mike
enough.
Lello, I think, really spearheaded that whole thing at the beginning, and did like all of kind of the best ones. And then when I came in, it was a couple years after he was gone. I was hoping to kind of bring it back, and really didn't.
How'd that go?
Oh, not well, not well. Because
I remember it going poorly.
Yeah, it was constant miscommunication between our people and the people who were recording things and all kinds of stuff. So long story short, one of them we did down here, right there in that very spot.
We did?
I was actually here for. With a band that is no longer. They're really cool. But one of the band members got into an argument with one of the crew members over how the instruments should sound. And it just literally turned into hours of awkwardness, of everybody kind of standing around like, okay, when are they...
I wish I was here for
when are they
that.
gonna
That sounds
stop,
like my kind of party.
Yeah, when are they going to stop yelling so that we can just fucking do this already? So yeah, that was.
That's when you need somebody like me. When people are yelling at each other. I can just...
Yeah. That was. I mean, in retrospect, it was funny, but at the time, it was like, oh yeah, this is weird.
No, I'd have loved it. I would have loved it if I was there. I know this for a fact.
I'm sure.
You know.
Well, you would have only added to it, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I start political conversations at the bar and then leave. It's my kind of good time.
Yeah.
I do. It's great. Well, when I went to the bar.
So I want to do some of that kind of stuff here without the arguments, hopefully. With the crew's not going to pick fights with people.
What is this? I'm here for an argument. Oh, this is abuse. My terrible English accent.
We'll just turn it into a big Monty Python skit.
We should.
I
feel like we're already almost there.
We are. Yeah, we're borderline. We're very fucking close. This whole operation.
The mixed look of disgust and boredom on Teresa's face right now says it all about how we're doing.
Well, I mean,
we need an opposite camera for her. Like, remember on Craig Ferguson?
Yeah.
When he'd always talk to the producer?
Yep. Yeah.
We need that. And then you can see our merch.
That's true, yeah.
Which would make a good segue to...
Oh, what? Us begging for money?
And merch.
Yeah.
Buy our merch.
Yeah, so we're
Be a sponsor.
In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have brand new T-shirts out. Oh, we have a couple of those hats left. Just a few.
Buy us out of these things so we can get new merch.
Yep, we have stickers. And...
Give me a T-shirt with me and you on it. People would
buy
our two bald heads, like a couple boobs.
We have
hit me.
We have
keychains.
Some keychains. Keychains are pretty great.
Stickers. Ooh, silvery.
Yeah, we got
shiny.
Holographic stickers.
Holographic, that's the word.
We have glow-in-the-dark stickers. That's what those are.
Glow-in-the-dark?
Yeah.
Glow-in-the-dark skull. This is my favorite of the NEPA Scene logos. This is on the back of my car.
Yeah.
Don't slash my tires because you don't know what kind of car I drive, and you could be slashing anybody's tires.
That's true, yeah. A lot of people have bought them, so...
I don't have... I'm going to steal this.
Yeah.
But you all should buy one.
We have magnets as
I don't
well,
have this guy.
which the magnets are perfect for if you want to put it on your car and not
or your fridge.
damage it. Yes, they work on your car.
You'd hang your children's terrible artwork or their bad school photo.
Absolutely.
With this guy.
Yep. Good stuff there.
I personally have a Rail Riders magnet that's way too big, so it's got stuff It's the schedule for the season.
Right.
So it's got stuff all around it. And it's like hardly sticks because not a lot of surface tension in there these days.
Yep.
Go Rail Riders. Hit me. Oh, magnets of the skull. The glow-in-the-dark skull. This does not glow in the dark.
No.
Much like my swamp thing.
Oh, it doesn't?
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it requires a black light. Like, you could see the stuff on it that's supposed to glow, but action figures anyway.
Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of
more glow-in-the-dark logo
custom
stickers.
action figures that
We have
Jason
multiple
made.
logo stickers, glow-in-the-dark and metallic. What do we have?
behind us here.
Ooh, metallic skull sticker.
Yeah.
I have not even seen a good portion of this merch.
It's because I mostly sell it at the open mic and stuff like the NEPA Horror Fest. So
Right
you
on.
can visit our table.
Come to the open mic.
Come buy a bunch of that
The
stuff.
NEPA Scene open mic.
Yes.
I can't wear this hat anymore.
No, that's fine. So yeah, obviously we're looking for sponsors. We hope to have a local brewery sponsor us, so we can drink and get paid for it. That's really what that comes down
If
to.
only I drank beer. If any whiskey companies would like to sponsor us, that would be grand.
Yeah, because you are, fun fact, allergic to beer.
I am allergic to beer.
No, that is sad.
And people say, doesn't that suck? And I say, not to me.
Right. And you don't miss it.
And they
'cause
say,
you
what do you...
drink.
I've never had it to miss.
Right. That's fair.
Anaphylactic shock sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that at all. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then what else do we want to talk about before we get out of here? So we want to talk a little bit about some of the other things. We want to do an acoustic session series, possibly maybe some album listening parties. That seems to be a thing.
If you're interested in doing acoustic sessions, feel free to contact me, as Rich is very busy and cannot answer all the emails. He is not ignoring you.
Yes, yeah, that's a
Just
big
a very
thing,
busy
too.
man.
Yeah.
I, however, play Call of Duty 7 hours a day and will happily answer your emails.
Well, I've found that if I answer every email, then I'm just going to lead a bunch of people on that I'm going to do something. I have to pick one thing, stick to that, finish that job, and then move on to the next thing. So if you've noticed that maybe we haven't published as many articles recently, a lot of it because I've been in this place till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Rich is lazy.
Doing a lot of painting and cleaning and rearranging and stuff like that. Like, this place is cleaner than my house right now.
Well,
How
I
much
mean,
effort that I've put into
a lot
it.
less eating and sleeping happens here, so
Yes,
it requires
that's-
less cleaning.
That is true. That is a good point.
Gotta wash your sheets. People
So-
who don't wash their sheets are gross. And they're out there. There's more than you think.
What kinds of things do you plan on doing with the photo area?
Oh, well, I was going to take some photos there.
Yeah.
Probably photograph people that are on the podcast. I just did a business headshot on Saturday
Yeah.
before the Penn State game with an old high school friend and fellow Penn State alumni.
So what I'm saying is people should contact you.
Oh, yeah, you should contact me if you require photos. Of anything, really. It doesn't have to be you.
Right, exactly.
Products.
But yeah, now we have this nice space back here. We might as well use it. Should I turn the camera around so people can see that a little
Yeah,
bit?
sure.
All right.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Teresa, are we okay with that? Is that going to work?
Yeah.
Getting the double thumbs up.
There we go. We're just gonna pan right over here. Move it up a little. Yeah. So you can see back here. We got 2 work desks here, and there's our little photo space, and then there's the long entrance
Hold on, you
into
broke it.
the abyss.
There we go.
There we go. It probably was way too fast for that to catch up.
And there's me.
Yep, and there's you. All right.
And the merch.
Okay. Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. In fact, I should close this door.
Oh, who left that open? What a jerk.
Somebody
Who was the last one to get here?
Somebody who was born in a barn clearly left
Gee,
that door.
I was born in the Mercy Hospital in East Scranton, which doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I'm sure you run into that a lot being old, things
I am old.
not existing
I'm old.
anymore.
I'm getting a hip. Getting a new hip soon in
Yeah.
November. Bionic J coming soon. No more limp.
Yeah, I mean, you think you're going to be RoboCop, but you're probably going to walk around more like C-3PO.
I'm more like C-3PO anyway. Well, I'm more R2-D2. I need a chair to roll. And I just roll that comment back. I said roll again. God damn it. Yeah, C-3PO. That's me.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Or Dot Matrix.
I've been meaning to contact Popco.
About Dot Matrix?
No, about getting T-shirts made of Spaceballs, because obviously you can't buy official merchandise.
Right. At the
Spaceballs.
last tattoo convention, I was going to get yet another Star Wars tattoo.
Yeah.
And Rebecca from Lackawanna County Visitors Bureau wandered over and she said, "Oh, Star Wars tattoo. Why don't you get a Spaceballs tattoo?" And I was like, that's genius. So I was just going to get, literally was going to say Spaceballs, the tattoo. And I'm still going to get it.
Okay.
But
right.
by the end of the tattoo convention, all my tattoo guys,
Yeah.
I just looked at them after 3 to 4 days of nonstop tattooing, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think today's the day to get a tattoo from any of these guys. They look
Little
very
shaky
tired.
hand, yeah.
So soon, thank you, Rebecca, Lackawanna County Visitors Bureau, because I'm going to get Spaceballs, the tattoo.
Yeah,
And now somebody else is going to get it because I talked about it.
Yeah, people are pretty unoriginal.
But fuck
when it
them,
comes to
I'm
that
still
shit.
getting it.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant not to curse tonight. I just blew it.
Oh, sorry.
This is also an uncensored podcast, so you can come in and do whatever you like. I don't know about nudity. I don't.
Yeah,
I think
they
the
won't let
FCC
it-
might
they won't
come
let us
after
go
us for
that
that
far.
and YouTube.
I mean, we can't even play copyrighted music. Sometimes the copyrighted music of the artist that we're actually interviewing, who has clearly given
Will
us
get
permission to that. Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. We're like, hey, let's do a premiere of your new song while, like, before or after the interview. And then the
tube
stream
shuts
gets
us
fucking
down.
cut off.
The tube shuts us down, man. So if you would like to attempt to have your song played on the podcast, we can roll the old dice. We could even
Yeah.
attempt to make a local band song our new intro music
Yeah.
and see if it gets blocked or not. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. So
We're working with Camp Rattler on a new introduction video.
I know them.
Yeah, and we shot some stuff at the open mic. We shot a couple other things at some iconic buildings in the area. So we're gonna kind of cut all that together and then add a couple more shots in here.
I just did some movie props I'm not allowed to talk about for them. Some painting.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
3D work.
Well, I talked to James Callahan the other day, and he said because they do a lot of music videos.
Yes.
But
I think
he was
the
getting.
thing I made was it for a music video?
I think he said he was getting into movies because that he's working on
I think
some kind of
the
independent.
thing I
movie.
made was for a movie, but
Okay.
the thing I made for a movie that we cannot discuss.
that we
any
can't discuss
details about.
anyway. So yeah. Let's.
But anyway, coming soon from Cap Rattler. Cool shit.
Yeah. Which they often premiere their stuff through us. So you
They
can
do.
check
What was
out
the
some of
last
their-
one? Was really good. The comic book video.
Yeah.
Kill Code was
Kill
the band
Code, yeah.
with our buddy Marcus AD starring in the video.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was some good shit.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot.
I did too.
Yeah,
'Cause just look at our
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
We wore our nicest Star
Yeah,
Wars
this
and
is-
Spider-Man T-shirts today.
Exactly. This is.
That's a good. Is that actually McFarlane?
It is. Yeah.
That's nice. I gotta get one of those.
Yeah. It's a nice shirt.
Very loud and splashy. Very. That's nerd-tacular.
Well, that's
I
how
need
comic book stuff should be.
it. You're fucking A.
Yeah. And you know, it's very hard to find stuff that's just the artwork.
Yes,
and not words. Like some graphic designer who thought he was better than these
smarter than
amazing artists that have sold millions of copies.
What did Steve Ditko know about anything?
Yeah. I see that really bugs me when I'm buying shirts, and it's like, oh, cool, you put this artwork on here, but then you ruined it by like putting something else across it, or everything's distressed. Everything's like...
I have a Black Panther t-shirt that's clearly a John Romita Black Panther drawing, but all the background stuff is Jack Kirby. But it actually works. It's really cool. But when I was given the shirt by my parents, they're like, hey, we bought you this because we know you're a dork. Mm-hmm. And then like 2 years later, the movie came out and people were like, you're a bandwagoner. I was like, yeah, sure am.
Yep.
But anyway, it's clearly the main drawing of Black Panther is definitely John Romita. And then the background stuff is
right.
I don't even think it's from Black Panther, and it's Jack Kirby. So, well, I still wear it. It's got holes in it now.
Yeah, whatever. It's like my Thrawn figure that I bought 4 or 5, 6 years ago, whenever it came out, the Black Series figure. And now if I showed it to people are like, oh yeah.
We should. I'm gonna bring mine down for Sunday. We'll put Thrawn right next to R2-D2. We'll put them right up front.
Who will...
Dude, that Thrawn figure is expensive now. It's hard to come by.
Oh.
And they didn't produce a new one for the Ahsoka show. At least not yet. You'd think they'd do a Lars Mikkelsen Thrawn version.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's a matter of time.
So, yeah, we'll have R2.
Yeah. We'll have R2 kick Thrawn's ass.
Yep.
Unless he can figure out a way around that. He's Thrawn.
He's close. I freaked a band out.
Well, I could see you're serving drinks.
I had that
R2 humor.
I had I had it on the table there, and while I was interviewing them,
you just started moving
doing that. Just like really subtle, and I didn't say anything about it.
Oh.
And at first they didn't say anything, and then after the one was just, come on, wait, no, come on, that moved, right? Like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't even have an on-off switch.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to amuse us here.
No, we're easily amused, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to be.
So yeah, we're hoping to maybe do some of that. Maybe even some live art on here. There's a few people that I'd love to have on the podcast that maybe could illustrate something while we're doing a show, kind of almost like a Bob Ross sort of deal.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
So I thought that might be fun. Like just now that we have this space available
like a sports
to us all the
commentator
time.
like version of that, where they'd paint and we'd have two people talking about them painting.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be so bad, it'd be amazing.
So maybe even some commentary. Oh, yeah, that brush was a mistake. No,
I don't see these two as yogis. I still don't. The things that are in my head.
all pop culture references.
I'm catching up on the modern commercials because football season is back. Because I don't actually watch TV except for football.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have lots of random commercials in my head. I believe is that Progressive? Progressive Insurance. We would happily take your sponsorship money.
We would happly take your money.
We'll wear fucking t-shirts that say Progressive on them.
Whatever.
Jamie can come and be the guest.
Well,
no Flo though. Sick of Flo. Let's get Jamie.
Yes.
Jamie's the man.
She's getting old. He works out.
He does.
Yeah,
he works. Like his demographic.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that you can hang out with.
Yeah, he does.
Flo seems a little too good for us.
I feel she's probably snooty. She's been deep in that Progressive commercial money. How set do you think she is though?
Oh, I know. Right?
They get paid every time.
Yeah.
The commercial plays. She's been in those commercials for easily 15 years.
Right.
She's got a nice fucking house.
The only commercials you see more are fucking Liberty, which how is it that a company that is clearly worth billions can run like 5 or 6 different entire
ad campaigns
all at the same time, and not one of them is any good. It's incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's the one insurance company that brags about not having a mascot, but each one of their commercials has like a brand new mascot to talk about how they don't have mascots?
Right.
That's the irony of that is.
Yes.
It's amazing. I feel like we should wrap up.
Yeah.
Talking. Although, Liberty Mutual, if you would like to give us your sponsorship money, we will completely take back our comments about how terrible your terrible commercials are.
For sure.
But Progressive, hit us up.
Yes.
Yep, seriously.
But yeah, we're, the thing that I think maybe, and I won't turn the camera on again on poor Teresa, who would probably rather stay right behind the scenes there. It seems to be where she's most comfortable.
She's actually getting more comfortable in her chair as we speak. She smiled.
Yeah,
there we go.
This entire operation from the beginning has always been very shoestring, very
DIY.
Yeah, DIY, and it still is. We're using my phone right now as the main camera.
We are.
And,
hey, it works.
Yeah, exactly. And
so if you're calling Rich right now,
sorry.
And if you're emailing Rich about being a band,
you're definitely not going to
definitely not getting that email answered at the moment
for sure. But yeah, we're always kind of every little thing that you see here is either beg, borrow, steal. Even this couch has its own fucking history of.
It really does.
Buying this and then storing it in a warehouse and then it getting lost.
Black wicker. Classy.
Yeah. I mean, clearly this is a very expensive piece of furniture that we've
yard
spent
furniture.
Lots and lots of money on. Yeah, yard furniture that we're trying to
you
pass
put by your pool, it gets moldy, you throw it away.
You know what though? Year. What sold me on it was the blue is so close to the NEPA Scene blue.
It really is.
Yeah, so I was like, all right.
Also, if you don't like blue, we're really not for you.
Yeah.
If you're not a fan of blue,
absolutely hate this.
You may as well just block us.
That side's okay if you don't like blue.
Oh yeah.
We can. It's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Just don't be on the podcast.
Yeah. Don't be.
You don't have to deal with the blue if you're getting your photo taken.
Right. Exactly. Anything beyond that, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other thing that I kind of wanted to mention in the terms of DIY and stuff like that. That's how we're kind of able to continue to do this, and I think people. They don't see it now. A lot of them don't see it now. But when the Scranton Times announced that basically a hedge fund was coming in and clearing out all of their people.
Goodbye. They're gone.
And
many of my friends are now unemployed.
And a lot of incredible journalists, people have been doing this 30, 40 years.
Yep.
Are just out of a job now. Had to take a buyout, and it's a situation that we lived through when the Times Leader was going through a very similar process. And I would argue that organization and a lot of the stuff that they put out has never been the same since. It's never really recovered. Certainly the Weekenders never really recovered.
Clark put something out.
But certainly, the Electric City is gone, which was the Scranton Times answer to the Weekender. Access
not
NEPA.
Slander if it's true, right?
No, it's not. Yeah. Such as, for example, Access NEPA being a huge ripoff of NEPA Scene and trying to rip us off in many different ways.
That's still a thing?
It's not a thing. It hasn't been a thing for a long time.
That was the Times, right?
Yeah, that was the Times.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, we've had definitely a mixed relationship with the company. But the people there, obviously the workers, the
top notch,
the people that we care about,
Nothing like hanging outside the courthouse with people of Channel 16 and the Times and the hot heat, chumming up with Bobby C. Mm-hmm. Good times when he told me not to wear flip flops because I was going to trip. And then the next day I had sneakers on. He's like, the good old days of photojournalism.
Right, yeah.
Don't miss it.
Well, and that's the thing is, my thought about it, obviously, immediately my thought is the news is going to suffer. The hard-hitting journalism, the award-winning stories, things like that. Those people are just not going to be there. Quite literally, not going to be there.
Yeah, and when these hedge funds come in, they have an agenda, and they send in, pre-thought opinions to be published as news, which it's not news.
No. And it's, a lot of it is going to be AP news and stuff like that.
It's already.
You're not going to see.
I saw the paper.
Local.
Not that I get the paper, but I saw one at my aunt's house, and it was all AP stories, AP photos. I think there's one photographer left there that they hired like 6 months ago.
Right.
Everybody else is gone.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, the people who earned those positions of years and years of hard work.
No disrespect to this new guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's all there is.
Yeah, well, because he's probably lower paid than the ones who have been there for 20 years.
No, work him like a dog.
I'm sure. And when I see the state of that kind of stuff, I feel like what we do is just that much more important to keep a record of these things and stuff. I was just saying the other day.
We're hard-hitting news.
Well, see, I feel like there needs to be a record of arts and entertainment in the area, whether it's musicians and bands or theatrical shows, writers, artists, photographers, whoever. All of those stories that we take for granted are always going to be on the internet are not going to be there, and some of them are not there already. I mean, the Times already hid a lot behind a paywall. And that was a tough pill to swallow in the first place. But their librarian was one of the people who was laid off. So you got to think about okay, those archives. What if some guy comes in tomorrow and just says, "The hell are we hanging on to this shit?"
Oh, that's going to happen.
And throws it in a fucking dumpster.
That building's going to get sold.
Because
it's all going to go, and it's going to be lost forever.
Because I feel like,
maybe the historical society.
And I could be wrong,
and
someone could come in and correct me, but I feel like that's what happened at the Times Leader. Because
I have no idea.
That building they had to sell, the building that they had been in for decades. When that hedge fund came in and sold them, they all those archives, a lot of them were just hard copies of things. And they were yellowed old copies of things.
Since the 90s and before, that was all there was hard copies and microfiche.
So unless you're somebody like Alan K. Stout, for example, who wrote for the paper many years and kept all of his articles and then publishes them on his blog so that there's still some kind of archive of them out there. Otherwise, everything that he wrote for how many years is gone. And all of the things that all those other people wrote are gone. Because every time they relaunch their websites very poorly, all of the old archives go away. I mean, there's even the stuff that does remain.
404.
Some of it's missing.
404.
Yeah.
I want to get a 404
It's missing
t-shirt.
the photos. It's missing.
People will not talk to me while I'm wearing it.
It's missing the bylines. There's a lot of articles that I wrote that I just that I'm not getting credit for that are out there on their websites, which really annoys me.
Oh, my photos are all over the freaking country.
Right, and you're not getting any kind of credit because every time somebody else comes in, they just don't care about this stuff. So my worry is that, and it's already happened in a lot of ways.
Times Leader used that same motionless in white photo from 2012 for 9 years until they were gone. It was totally new band members. They're still using the photo from. That was 2010.
Yeah, and then
God, we're old.
And then Access NEPA used it the one time and called them motionless on white, which was my favorite typo that I've ever seen.
That's amazing. That could be. Oh, if we ever have a deli, the NEPA Scene deli, which will be blue.
Yeah.
Motionless on white will be a sandwich. Absolutely.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Whatever we gotta do. If we can't sell you.
We can sell tiger slaw.
We can't sell you articles and podcasts. We'll send you sandwiches. We'll sell you sandwiches.
Those clever Funyuns. Tiger slaw. There's some other. I'll have a menu ready. That's just off the top of my head. Possible local band name related food items. Don't know what they're going to be, and this is also never happening.
Yes. But
So, we may have a secondary podcast where Rich and I just argue about Star Wars.
yeah, we've talked about that. We thought, there's definitely a very underserved. I don't know if you've ever been on the internet, but there's not a lot of
Nobody's talking
things
about Star
comic
Wars.
books or MCU or the Star Wars. There's just really
We
not a
need
lot
to,
out
we need to
there.
cover that because
Yeah.
nobody talks about these things.
Exactly. Like I feel like
Especially Star Wars. No one talks about Star Wars.
No, exactly. So so if you want to hear instead of some guy who lives in Scranton with
Two
another
bald
guy
men
who lives
discuss nerd stuff.
Yeah, because that's never been done.
And we could do deep cuts. Nobody would know what we were talking about.
Right, exactly.
Like
And we'll just but we have a lot
Moon
of
Knight Volume 2.
we have a lot of nerdy shit, and we just want to show it to you on camera and just talk about it. So yeah,
That's
maybe
true.
we'll
We got
we'll
the
do
new
stuff like
Captain
that.
America Stealth Shield.
Yeah, from Ollie's that we got
Yeah.
over there,
I might go up to Ollie's when we're done here and
and see if they still have.
see if they
one of
still
those.
have one because I need that shield at my house.
Yeah.
Although I also want the Trapper Wolf helmet, which I've probably
Well,
get first.
you told me that it was there, and then you didn't get one.
The helmet wasn't there. You told me they had
this. No, you told me the.
one. Oh, I
was
bought G.I. Joe figures
Oh, okay.
to repaint.
So it's your own fault if it's not there.
Oh, yeah, but I needed to repaint those G.I. Joe figures. And this is also...
Yeah.
I don't really need it. Whenever I want to see it, it's...
Yeah, it's here.
Also, it's fucking blue.
Yeah, well, that occurred to me. Trust me. that
No
occurred.
red on that, or white on that
Yeah.
Captain America Stealth Shield.
Right. Yeah.
It's fucking blue.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
'Cause, yep.
Well, after all the expenses, which I must tell you,
This and the sign are what
Yes.
money has been spent
the
on.
sign and string lights for the whole
Microphones.
place that we will use for other shoots.
Are these the new microphones?
These are new microphones.
Okay, so microphones, sign, Captain
yeah.
America shield.
To be fair, Alex purchased the microphone.
Oh, our first sponsor
Yes.
and landlord.
Yes. But you would not believe how many different cords that I've had to buy and how expensive they all are. From HDMI cords to converters of this to this needs to be this USB-C to USB-A, HDMI to USB, so on and so forth. So many fucking cords.
Rich
Holy
actually
fuck.
texted me today to ask me if I had a really long Ethernet cable.
Yes.
Like it was 2004.
Right. So
I was
so
like,
that
yeah, sure.
so that little thing that my phone goes to would actually work.
Yeah.
So I had to go out and buy a fucking Ethernet cable.
I'm surprised you were able to find one.
Yeah, Walmart. So yeah,
I
exactly.
still miss Radio Shack, man. Still miss it. Teresa's in agreement with me. Everything my weird ass ever needed,
This guy
Radio Shack had it.
right there, so that we can get our money's worth because it's on camera now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
It really is nice. Yeah.
Fuck, I am gonna go buy one now. God damn it. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Jay's got to go to Ollie's.
All right. So, wrapping up what we were saying about the Scranton Times and stuff, a lot of those archives are long gone. A lot of that stuff doesn't exist anymore, and it may never
Maybe they'll give it to
come
us.
back. I would love
Let's
that.
go ask for it.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, if
Can't
they-
hurt.
yeah,
Worst thing they
they're
could
getting
say
rid
is
of
go
it.
fuck yourself.
But
When
yeah,
people say the worst thing somebody could say is no. That's so
that's
inaccurate.
There's so many worse things.
I mean, people ask me stuff expecting the worst thing I could say is no, and they're
Oh,
always
yeah.
so surprised
Yeah, right.
how much worse it can be.
Oh yeah, you say some things.
I do.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we're here for, is to offer you an alternative to what everybody else is doing, and to try and do something different. And I think we've been pretty successful. We got these the other
Awards?
a couple weeks ago. We got a whole shelf of those over here. But I did make a post in the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to thank everybody who voted for us for best music publication and for the People's Choice on the NEPA Scene Podcast. So that will be coming back very soon, and you have no idea how many hoops I've had to jump through to bring it back. So thank you for that, because it actually made me feel like I did not spend all of that time, money, and resources for nothing.
The award-winning
Yes.
NEPA Scene. Oh my God! Some of the things Chopper said on Ahsoka last night. So if you know the droid Chopper,
Yeah.
it's actually Dave Filoni mumbling. That's his voice. So instead of your standard R2 beeps,
Yeah.
it's actually a person talking, but it's so muffled you can kind of tell what he's saying, but not really. And everything he says is not okay. It's not okay. And if you really pay attention, you can totally tell what he's saying.
You know, there's some nerd out there who has already probably like slowed it down and like decoded what he
there is.
said and like put it out
The
there.
the comic relief has become, nuanced.
See, that's my reward for all of this, is to go home and watch that finale. So,
Oh, I'm going to tell you what happened as soon as we cut.
oh, excellent! Please do.
I would never do that.
I know you wouldn't.
Oh man, if somebody had spoiled that episode, well, I mean, I was at a show and left and told the headliner that I'd taken their portrait now because Ahsoka's on at 9 and they didn't compete. It was Joy Zavada. She was fine with it. She thought it was very funny
That's cool. Yeah.
and knew that I wasn't lying.
Oh yeah, how was the underground microphone? At the cultural center?
Sweet Nest and Little Star Run were excellent. I left before Pucker Up or Joy played. But
Well-
I did do portraits of them because I couldn't shoot them live.
Pucker Up did come to the NEPA Scene open mic after.
Oh.
And they performed there. So
Well,
I
fair
got to
enough.
see them.
You got to see them. I was home watching Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Loki tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I thought it was tonight. Super disappointed. So I'll have to play Call of Duty.
Yep.
Anywho, let's bring it to an end.
Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit. This was just kind of a last minute idea of just kind of we've been teasing for the last couple of months. Something interesting, something blue.
And this is it.
So here you go. Yeah, this is it. We actually have.
We
our
can
own
call
little
it the
studio
Abyss,
now.
like that awesome James Cameron movie, because it's all blue.
That is true.
This could be the Abyss.
Right. Okay. Well.
Keep wrapping it up.
Oh yeah.
Stop
So no.
talking.
Yeah. No contest now. It's off. That's what it's called now.
Oh no, send your ideas in. You get a no prize.
Yes.
Get a no prize if you know what a no prize
no
is.
prize is. Yep.
And send your naming ideas in, but we're never going to call it anything but the studio. Anywho,
Yeah.
I said I'd stop talking.
So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. As we have reiterated, this is the NEPA Scene Studio. The NEPA Scene Podcast will be back this Sunday with a new episode about NEPA Horror Fest, and then going forward, we're back to Wednesdays at 7. So
Possibly featuring Bobby Keller.
Possibly.
The enigmatic,
yeah,
in demand
right.
Bobby Keller.
Who will say more entertaining things on the internet. 'Cause
He
that's what he's
sure
good
will. We love you, Bob.
All right, and we love you guys. Thank you for keeping us around for 9 years, and hopefully many more. Hopefully at least a few in this before we get kicked out or moved somewhere else, because it has been a long time since we've had a home, so to speak. So I'm really excited about some
And this
of the
one's
stuff
in
we're gonna do
Scranton,
here.
which saves gas, which is
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, sorry, Wilkes-Barre people. I love you, but
Wilkes-Barre's great,
it
but
was
man, driving back and forth every day.
such a pain in the ass getting there and back, just to do something.
And
as
one
silly as
direction
this.
of 81 is always freaking closed.
Exactly. It's always the one
Just
that
guess
I
day to
hate
day
to
which one it's going to be, but one of them's going to be a dead stop.
for sure. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and I guess we'll see you here on Sunday.
We will. Peace out, party people.